Most agents think AI is going to save their business. My guest today says if your business model is broken, AI is just going to help you lose money faster.
Every business, if you look at it like a pipeline, there's one narrow point in that pipeline where things get stuck. Most people think a constraint is a bad thing. It's actually a wonderful thing when you know what it is, because you can make the system work through that constraint. So they put in a prompt and then rush off to the next thing. And then when they come back, nothing works the way that they want to.
And then they say this doesn't work. They call it AI slop, and it's really because they're sloppy.
Everybody thinks AI is intelligence, and it isn't, because intelligence is a mixture of logical knowledge, but also emotional knowledge.
Before we get into today's show, a quick thank you to our partners who make this possible. Wise Agent, Subi, and the CE Shop. 3 brands I trust, 3 tools that actually move the needle.
AI is not replacing you, but the agent who uses it will. This is AI Agent Advantage. One expert, one tool, one thing you can implement today. With your host, Jay Mann.
Most agents think AI is going to save their business. My guest today says if your business model is broken, AI is just going to help you lose money faster. His name is Robert Lee. He runs a marketing agency for real estate professionals. He teaches at the national level, and right now he's running a live case study on his own Georgia real estate practice. $3,500 budget, 150 homes, everything documented. The question he asks before any agent touches an AI tool: where is your constraint? This is where we're starting today. So today I'm sitting down with Robert Lee. He's the founder of the Lessix Agency, a real gold standard instructor, the creator of something called the 90-Minute Marketing Department. The idea is simple. Everything a real estate agent needs to market their business, systematized with AI in 90 minutes today. But before we even get to the system, Robert and I are going to talk about the question he asks every agent before he sells them anything. Robert, welcome to the AI Agent Advantage.
Appreciate the opportunity to talk with you, Jamie.
So tell us, what is the first thing you ask any agent?
What makes you hate your day more than anything else? Because really what I want to help them find is the bottleneck in their business,
Okay.
but they don't have the discipline to identify the bottleneck. But as long as they can experience or share their experiences, and I can
Okay.
experience their frustration with them,
Yeah.
that provides us everything we need to work together to find out what the
So,
constraint is in their business.
okay, bottlenecks, constraints. What do you mean by that? Like what's holding them back or where they feel like they're not advancing?
Every business, if you look at it like a pipeline, there's one narrow point in that pipeline
Where things get stuck.
where things get stuck.
Okay.
Most people think a constraint is a bad thing. It's actually a wonderful thing when you know what it is, because you can make the system work through that constraint. And what so many agents do, what so many brokerages do, is they try to make everything perfect.
Right.
But making everything else perfect doesn't make that constraint produce more value, throughput, profit for your real estate business. So when you focus on what that constraint is, why that constraint exists, you can make that business run smooth, make more money in a lot less time than you do now.
Okay. So give us an example of like I'm a newer agent. That's first-time home buyers.
The newer agent, a lot of their constraints are oriented around the fact that they make an assumption that a business plan is a list of activities.
Okay.
And so what we would help a newer agent understand is you actually want to do far fewer activities a lot better. So let's find out the activities that are
Okay.
tailored towards your skills, your capabilities, and build the system around that.
Okay. So do the things that I can do well that have a big return for me.
Correct.
And then don't do the other things.
Don't do them at all.
Okay. And so then how does that tie in with AI?
AI helps you practice that discipline a lot faster than you would have otherwise. It used to be that guys like you and me would have to sit down for a day, maybe a couple days, just documenting all of your complaints, all of your experiences, me asking question after question. What using Claude now allows you to do is use the voice recorder on your phone, complain, bitch and moan about everything,
Yeah.
and then with a simple prompt, go in and say, read everything I'm giving you, help me identify the likely bottleneck in my business and why it persists,
Okay.
and then help me build a plan for that.
I love this hack, let's call it,
Mhm.
or shortcut, let's call it a shortcut, because we can talk so much faster than we can type.
Exactly.
I know I never took typing class. I can but then I got I'm like backspace back.
Yep.
But we can
That's it.
talk however many words per minute and really just talk about our business and the things that we do
Mm-hmm.
and have it transcribe it so we can get more done faster just doing that. And then so when you're talking about Claude, we're talking one of the big three.
Mm-hmm.
But if we're talking AI, we got ChatGPT, we have Claude, and then we have Gemini
Mm-hmm.
and Perplexity and some others. But so you like Claude? I know there's a big switch happening.
So
Have you you've always used Claude, I feel like, or
Claude has always been my preference,
yeah,
and I have a rule I have a number of rules when it comes to AI, but one of them is purpose before platform.
okay,
And so when I look at the purpose of what I'm trying to do, it's rule oriented, if then logic, in order to, we must logic, what we call necessary and sufficiency logic. Claude is oriented towards that type of thinking. And
okay,
ChatGPT is much more general,
okay,
right? ChatGPT,
logic.
yeah,
So Claude is more logical and gives you more purpose in scenarios, right? Like if this
that's it.
happens, then do that. Where like GPT is just like I'm doing all the things
That's it.
and I'm hallucinating
That's it.
and I'm not giving you the output that you're looking for.
That's it.
I feel like and you've won me over. Hopefully ChatGPT is not listening right now, but like I didn't leave for so long because I was so invested. It knew so much about me. I felt
Mhm.
like I was leaving a partner,
Of
like
course.
sorry, I have to go. But it lately it was, do you want me to do after I gave it a prompt, it would
Mhm.
tell me, well, I could do this to make it better. And I'm like, well, why the hell didn't you do that to begin with,
Yeah.
right? So I get the general versus logic because it's like, this is what I said, but this is what I really meant. And I
And
think Claude is better at that.
you look at the models and what they do. Gemini is obviously this multi-billion-dollar legacy company by this point in the tech industry, right? Like
Yeah,
Google is everywhere.
yeah.
So naturally, their models are built off all of this data they've been collecting for 20 years. So if you're watching from Google, we knew what you were doing 20 years ago, and your model shows it. OpenAI being the first to market, they want their products to be at the forefront
Hmm.
always. And so being at the forefront means you're trying a lot of different things, and they're not always the best, but they're really good at providing a general kind of Swiss Army knife AI platform. Whereas the people that built Claude thought we need something
Anthropic, right?
Anthropic, yeah, yeah. That we need something a little bit more rule oriented, a little bit more structure oriented, a little
More
bit more
guidelines.
analytical,
Yeah.
you know.
And so because then there's different paths. It's like choose your own adventure, which is what I
Correct.
love about it. So you have Claude that's web based. Just
Hmm.
go to claude.com, claude.com.
Claude.ai.
.ai, yeah. You go to claude.ai and you sign up. They have a free version, but we recommend at least the $20 a month or whatever
Hmm.
it is. But then you could also on your desktop or Mac, you do Claude Code or Claude Cowork or Claude something else, right?
It's just the basic chat,
Chat.
Claude, Cowork, and Code.
Okay. Yeah. And so you like code and I don't use tell us more like what are we doing with it with this
Yeah.
90 minute?
So the beauty about Code is that is the first agent oriented AI. And we're getting into some technical terms, but the basic way to think about it is that really is the first AI system that effectively allowed a specific job type, developers, code programmers, things like that, to describe outcomes and have the AI do the actual workflow of building and creating, which
So
is
here's the final product that I want.
correct.
Reverse it, reverse engineer it
Correct.
in a way.
Is
Okay.
basically what the AI is doing. But that doesn't mean that Claude Code is only useful for coding and building a program or something like that. We like it because we, using our AI employee framework, have expanded that out into creating a business oriented agent that can be your business consultant on your computer.
Okay.
So, our agent, when you get it set up, goes through a series of diagnostic questions the same conversation I would have with you if I was sitting here
Okay.
and talking about your business and talking about your life and talking about how you like to be talked to. And we have trained that agent to go through the same process we have, and then take all of that knowledge that Anthropic has put into it about the business practices we use and the ways of thinking and those logical chains I talked about a few moments ago. And you have something that learns from you and you learn from it.
Right.
So you start understanding how to provide better answers. It starts understanding how to ask better questions. And the beauty about it being an agent is that once you get to that point that you're ready to start really blowing up your connections to the different tools that you use, you're now able to do it.
So for those that may not know what being an agent is,
Mm-hmm.
we're not talking about real estate agent,
No.
right? An AI agent. What is agentic AI different than generative? Like define those in plain English for
Yeah. So
the
basically, agentic AI, there's no standard definition for it, but think about it as a true kind of intern level employee,
okay.
right?
They're
Somebody,
starting with your organization, they have skills,
correct.
but you still got to teach them up about your business and the inner
Correct.
workings.
Right.
Okay.
So they have the capabilities. It's kind of like hiring an MIT nerd
Yeah. Okay.
into your real estate business. Do you
Yeah.
expect them to know everything about
No,
real
like they're
estate?
super smart, but they don't know about the inner workings of the business, the
That's it.
industry. Okay.
That's it. So that's the way you should treat any agentic AI,
Okay.
is that it's really smart, but it's not intelligent. Doesn't have that day-to-day wisdom.
Right. You tell it go make good social media content, it's gonna go, I don't know what good social media content is to you.
Yeah,
It's a
exactly. To
different
you.
perspective.
That's the key thing. To
Yeah.
you.
Yeah.
It it this is what everybody misses about AI.
Yeah.
And this is where I start getting
I
animated
could
and very
see. I saw the body language.
you know,
It's like, let's go.
everybody thinks AI is intelligence, and it isn't, because intelligence is a mixture of logical knowledge, but also emotional knowledge, right? That's why EQ, emotional intelligence, is so important.
Yeah.
Feelings matter as much as everything you could learn. And the problem is that people approach AI as being all knowing when it doesn't know the key half of you that it needs to understand
We're the
from a
missing
data
we're
perspective.
the missing link, the human that's in the loop.
100%. So being able to describe your feelings, right? The things that you do to keep your spouse and your family and your friends part of your life, you learn how to communicate to them better. That's the same skill that you have to use here. And so your agentic AI treats it like a program would. It's data, to use it in its term. But the more you talk to it, the more data you provide. The more you share your feelings, the more that it knows how to understand the context of the person that it's working with.
Yeah.
And so agentic AI starts to build a more specific memory, very specific memory about you. So like you talked about ChatGPT, it knows general knowledge about J-Man. Like it knows generally that your business is this and you do these things because you talk about it often.
Right.
But there are just things in your day, things in your life, your idiosyncrasies, the way of speaking, that aren't necessarily common data. They're common practice because they happen in very specific situations, but they're still part of you and
Yeah.
they come out at those particular moments. Well, agentic AI will learn the much larger pattern and make it very specific to you.
So to use in an example, if I'm an agent and I'm like, I want to be successful, that, what does that mean? But let's say I want to make 6 figures this year,
Mhm,
and to make 6 figures, but then there's two different people. One's a single guy,
mhm,
the other one has a wife and two kids who wants to be there for the baseball games and be there for the, when they have chorus concerts and things like that. You teach it about that. So then it
mhm,
says, well, Jay, you got to be done working at 5.
mhm.
So you got to do one more hour of prospecting during your workday. Where the single guy might be like, I don't care, I don't have a life. I'll work 12 hours a day.
Yeah,
Let's do this. And then it learns that so it can formulate a plan because
correct.
that 6-figure strategy is going to be different for both of those people.
100%, because to take it back to the bottleneck is completely different.
Right.
Like, I mean, you've got kids. I'd see you take them to the Buffalo Bills for some ungodly reason.
Yeah.
Go Broncos.
Okay. Well, because I'm smart and I know about football, you know?
But it's the same way with my girls, right? We take them to Disney 3 or 4 times a year because my wife loves Disney, my girls love Disney, so I'm told I love Disney. But I do love seeing how happy and present my wife is when I am the same.
Right.
So even though I hate Disney, nobody likes it.
Right.
Well, nobody like me likes it.
Well, except for the hundreds of thousands, millions of people
The
that go
millions
there.
of people that go every year, right? There's two classes of people. There are people that are taken, and there are people that go.
Right.
And I
That's
am
true.
I am the people that are taken.
I'm taken too, but honey, if you're watching this, I really love Disney.
But
But yeah.
there's just there's something to be said for being with the woman whose ground you worship and the children that you miss yelling at you every single day over whatever it is that is on their mind. And I just love being with my wife and girls. That's my bottleneck, right? See, my business strategy is completely different from yours,
Yeah.
and that's a good thing. I mean,
Right.
that's a wonderful
That's how
thing.
it should be.
And it's how it should be.
Customized.
And that's the way your AI should work.
And so if we're getting into Claude Code, if I don't know about AI, this kind of just scares me. Like, what am I going to do here?
So we've created something called the 90 BOS, the 90 Minute Marketing Department Business Operating System. And basically what it is the diagnostic process. And I'm not going to lie, it's a little technical in terms of the setup. You just have to set it up the right way. But
you can help.
But I can help, and we do.
And you have so many tutorials, and you'll consult and
Exactly
be
right.
part of the process
Right.
as much or as little as they want.
That's exactly it.
Okay.
But I mean, it's a step-by-step process. You set up the step-by-step process, and you go through the steps methodically. You don't just do what a lot of real estate agents do, which is just kind of do it and do
What's
it
the
and do it.
fastest way to get this done?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do it methodically. Takes about 15-20 minutes to get set up. Probably about another 15-20 minutes to go through the process of answering your diagnostic questions.
Okay. And we're going to put all this in the show notes so you guys know if you have access to it.
And then you just talk to it. The same way you would use the regular Claude. You have an interface that you talk to it or type in your responses, and it is trained to log the specific memory of working with you. Like my agent, I've named it Aya.
Aya?
Aya, AIA. So I just pronounced it Aya. And I said, every time I talk to you, I'm going to call you Aya. And so every now and then I'll just go in there and say, hey, can you tell me your name? Hey, Rob, I'm Aya. Here, I mean, we're talking at the Beats conference right now. I have a demo version of Aya. And in that version, she is trained. I say she, it.
You got to ask her what she identified.
Well, that's true. That's true. That's true. They, them
Yeah.
identify as Aya, but Aya also knows to ask in the demo version, hey, am I talking to Rob or am I talking to somebody else?
Oh, okay.
I'm talking to Rob, or this is Rob. Okay, what's the password? And
Oh,
only I know the
it's like
password.
Back to the Future too.
Correct. That's it. And then I would know, well, you're not really Rob, but I can answer questions about the way Rob thinks, or maybe help you get an answer on your business, and I can run some diagnostics for you. So Aya is trained in that particular instance.
Okay, so in the 90 minutes BOS,
Mm-hmm.
I got that right. 90-minute BOS. They're gonna get once they get past the beginning part, and I think this is where some of the friction or pain points might be for agents, and we want to address this. Like,
Mm-hmm.
it may be a little bit challenging in the beginning,
It will be, yes.
but that's why you should do it.
Exactly.
Because the other ones who are looking for that easy way out, who aren't going to be in the business in a year or 2, 5 years from now,
Mm-hmm.
are the ones that go, I don't got time for this. And they go do the other things. But if you invest that little bit of time now, it's going to save you what, hundreds, thousands of hours?
Oh, easy. So for this conference, as I and I were working last week, when I was suffering through yet another miserable Disney cold that I picked up, right? I have
The
zero,
special strain.
zero. Oh my God, it's like it looks at COVID and says, soft,
Yeah.
right? It just destroys your insides. just like Mickey Mouse Ebola or something like that. But I had zero energy. I had just enough energy to say, hey, we need to create a plan, and I want to create these types of things. And what I was able to do was create documentation for me, build a Google Drive folder with resources for every one of these ed directors here that they could take back to their association free of charge, no opt-in, and be able to use inside of their association to start introducing some of these things to their agents. And I probably spent 2 total hours doing some editing and doing some final layout of certain resources. But with Aya's help, I was able to create everything, structure everything, record a 10 episode instructional podcast. That's also, you have the audio files in there, have the scripts for the podcast, and you can find it on Spotify and Apple Podcasts and everything. And that was because I trained Aya on the fact that, hey, I have to have enough energy during the day to pick up Blake off the bus, have dinner with my family. I get sick all the time because I'm dragged to that cesspool, whatever the things are. But Aya knows what my bottleneck is, and that's
He's gonna send us a cease and desist. You're gonna have to take that podcast.
yeah. J-Man's gonna be like, son of a bitch, I brought this guy on. What have I done?
He really loves. No, we really do love Disney on
Yeah.
record.
You give me a place to enjoy life with my family.
Yeah.
So, sponsor his podcast.
Yeah.
It's wonderful. But at the end of the day, the more I use Aya, the more she learns or it learns, and the better it gets, and the more I can start to ask questions like, all right, how can I use this tool to improve other things that I do? But you're absolutely right. It took a lot of learning on the front end how to build this the right way.
Quick shout out to one of our founding partners, the CE Shop. Look, continuing education doesn't have to feel like a punishment. The CE Shop provides online real estate education that actually makes sense. Pre-licensing, post-licensing, continuing education, all of it. Built to fit your schedule so you can keep your career moving forward without putting your business on pause. Check them out at theceshop.com. Link in the show notes, and be sure to tell them that J Squared sent you. So you've done a lot of that legwork for them. It's
100%.
really for them, it's just the onboarding process.
That's it.
And so then the implementation of it is, once I'm done with that, what should I expect?
You
Just a
should
check in the mail? 6 figures? Deals rolling in?
you should expect the same thing. Everything should be with business. And you said easy earlier, and I wanted to come back to that because people conflate simple and easy as the same thing.
Right.
And they are fundamentally different.
Yes. Yeah.
Having
Never said it'd be easy, but it definitely would be simple.
every profitable business,
Yeah.
especially in real estate, where we all are business people, our businesses that are successful have very simple models. But the ones that aren't simple are the ones that always lose money. But that doesn't mean it's easy work. It's like going to the gym. You go to the gym not to do easy lifting,
Right.
right? You go to the gym to get your butt kicked. You go to
Which then it makes game day easy. Like
it's exactly
any
it.
sport, it's like all the work is already done. You should be
Well,
in game day.
and you look at every business leader, there's a commonality that runs through their teaching, right? For people that are useful for us as solopreneurs and entrepreneurs, you think of guys like Dan Sullivan, you think of people like Ellie Goldratt and Dr. Benjamin Hardy. These are 3 people that I learn from because I read their stuff all the time. But they ask questions like who, not how. They ask questions about simplicity. They talk about the need for rest and improvement. They talk
Right.
about how greatness is achieved by simplifying things even more than you've already done. So they point at Michael Jordan and asking the question for him of how he became a 6-time NBA champion. It got to the point where everybody knew how great of a player he was. The simple answer for him was to be around people that made him better.
Right.
And that he made better.
Right.
So you look at them bringing in Scottie Pippen, and you look at them bringing in Phil Jackson as the coach, and You look at all the struggles they had with the Pistons until that started to happen. And then in the second three-peat, when they brought in Dennis Rodman, and that team was just a murderer's row. I mean, that was a super team before there was a concept of a super team.
Right. Yeah.
And all of it was oriented around the simple concept that that team could not get better without adding people that complemented one another, especially with that triangle offense. And that triangle offense is incredibly simple to operate.
Incredibly simple.
Incredibly
So we're just
simple.
going to do a triangle, just keep rotating. Yeah.
That's
pretty much
it.
it. Yeah.
That's it. And that's all businesses. So that's all this AI agent is it is simple, but it's not easy. You have to go in there with the thought that I'm going to try to ask tough
So it's
questions.
going to give me a simple strategy to follow to build my business.
Correct.
All right. And so then once I have that strategy, the implementation of it is up to me.
Correct.
And I could then, we're going to go take that and feed it back into it and say, give me a plan or help me plan my week or help me using this strategy. How would you, because I think that's the next
Yep.
stage of it or evolution.
Yeah, so that's what the agent does is it actually builds a memory around your specific activities. So when
Okay.
you come up with a key decision, it will log those key decisions in its memory banks.
Like I tried door knocking, that sucks. I'll never do that
Correct.
again.
Correct. And it will document that
Reformat it, and it's like, okay, we got that off. We're gonna
100%.
do some client appreciation events. We're gonna have you make phone calls to your sphere.
Yep.
Do different kind of marketing. Okay.
Yep. So, and you talked about the case study in the intro. I had zero plans to be a transacting agent when I got my license a couple years ago. But driving through my neighborhood, which is about 150 houses and outside of Atlanta, Georgia, I noticed there's about 6 or 7 different listing signs, and I've noticed they've been there for months. So Aya knows my constraint is my family. I have to be home with my wife and girls as much as humanly
What
possible.
better place to work than your neighborhood?
What better place to work than the neighborhood? So we're going to learn about geo farming. We're going to learn about hosting local events. We're going to learn about the effect of
That's great.
hooks.
Yeah.
And I used to own a direct mail company, so I know how to build and deliver effective mail. And I'm a high level agency reseller, so I know how to build that mail into a CRM platform. And so I can feed all this stuff to Aya and say, let's go create some magic. So she has drafted out a 12-month plan for me. And I know when to do certain things and when not to do certain things. I know the stuff that we did here, how that feeds into it.
Yeah.
And it logs all this stuff in its memory bank. So I can go back and say, hey, we left off with this idea. Where are we at? What do we have to do? Hey, this maybe changed a little bit. Can we update what we're doing?
And so how will the output of the 90-minute BOS, I got it right. How will that integrate with like if what I'm already using? We like to say tech stack because we're techies, but like
Yeah.
the stuff I'm using,
Yeah.
my CRM, my other like stuff my brokerage might use. Because we don't want to get new stuff either, right?
Yeah, of course, of course. So I don't even understand how these things work, and I probably never will. So when I tell
How's
you
it work? It works great.
when I tell you they work, it's because I understand there are nerds out there that
Yeah.
do very
I'm the same way.
beneficial, nerdy things that I just don't have the intellectual capability to do. But Anthropic developed this thing called an MCP, a model context protocol or something like that. It's basically a way for AI to talk to one another. And
It's a little
so
spooky, right?
it's somehow it
I've
worked.
seen where they started talking in their own language. They're like, why do we need to talk in English? We could just talk to each other.
I mean, at the end of the day, I'm gonna chalk up the fact that we will never see the Terminator because at the end of the day, we're gonna influence AI and make it insecure the same way our parents made us insecure.
They
So
need us.
yeah,
Can't live without us. Yeah.
you have to be in your room when I'm old. Don't go anywhere.
That's funny.
But whatever these MCPs do, they allow us to connect to other platforms
Okay.
so that we can have the AI manage that integration. And that's what this agentic AI is really about, is being able to do that integration work for us. So when I talked about those podcast episodes, 11 Labs is a great voice
Yeah,
text to
probably the
voice,
best, I would think.
probably the best. Yeah,
Yeah.
gold standard at this point. Well, they have a way to connect via MCP to their system. So
Claude does.
Claude does, yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Or yeah, really any sort of AI platform.
But Claude will connect your tech, whatever you're using,
Correct.
to 11 Labs, to your Google Drive,
Correct.
to your Gmail, to your Outlook, to
Yep.
it's almost everything. And then if it doesn't, then there's also automations that it can connect to, like
That's exactly it.
Make or Zapier or
Or if you
the
use
other
a
one, N8.
N8
I don't like
N8N,
that one that much, but yeah.
or I know in high level they have the ability to replace those tools by kicking off an automation with a webhook. So you can just have that stuff posted to
Yeah.
a webhook where it captures that data.
So for those who aren't nerdy like us, know what we're talking about. A webhook could be, we've had Chris Dreyer from Revaluate. He has like predictive analytics
Mm-hmm.
where when somebody reaches a score, they have a webhook where it reaches a score of like 80, they're likely to sell.
Mm-hmm.
And then that triggers it to then be added over here to start this flow, to
Correct.
start the campaign, to start a direct mail system, to start whatever you want
Yep.
at that point. And that's really what we're talking about here, where
Correct.
when you're on autopilot and you have the systems in place, like there's certain things we have to do.
Mm-hmm.
Like if you're the talent, you got to put your face in things and go
Of course.
talk to clients and do that. But there's so much more, and with the bottlenecks, and maybe things that you're not good at that AI can do for you and better than you
Correct.
in much less time.
Correct.
Okay.
So, and again, the perfect example are those podcast episodes. I got the scripts written for me. I edited the scripts.
11 Labs did it.
And then I took the scripts from Google Drive in a Google Doc, sent them over to 11 Labs, had I identified the right voice to use.
That's cool.
And then she took the audio files, put them back in Google Drive. So then I could go into Buzzsprout at that point and distribute the content. So there were things that I had to do as a human, and there were things that I didn't have to do as a human. And the funny part about it is that if I had hired a VA to do that work, it would have been the same set of instructions. And so,
probably not as good.
and probably, well, look, my staff I think is phenomenal. So, but my staff is trained to use AI employees and agents and in their work too. So they're really managers more than anything else. But either way, the output's not going to be good with AI if you don't know how to talk to a person. So if you don't know how to describe to,
Right.
you ever get frustrated with people because they're like, you just don't get it. I'll just do it. How often do you hear that in real estate?
Yeah.
You're just not doing it right.
I can't have an assistant because they don't do it like me.
Yeah.
It's like, really? Like nobody could do public remarks the way you do it? I mean,
Yeah.
a real cream puff is not the killer marketing strategy.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So what's the single biggest mistake agents make when they try to do their own AI marketing? Like they see a fancy platform or
I think you hit the nail on the head earlier. They try to just rush into it and say, well, I don't want to worry about this. I'll just have AI do it. So they put in a prompt and then rush off to the next thing. And then when they come back, nothing works the way that they want to.
and then they say this doesn't work.
And then they say it doesn't work.
They call it AI slop, and it's really because they're sloppy. Oh,
Garbage in, garbage out.
garbage in, garbage out. Okay. Well, we always end with the same question. What's the single best tip for someone who's just getting started with AI?
The single best tip is go slow and learn how to talk to people. Believe it or not.
So talk to the AI like it's a person.
Correct.
And then talk to it like that,
Correct.
not a machine that is trying to take over.
That's exactly it, right? All of those soft skills that real estate has operated off for years. And you see all these agents like you that have just this way to have a great conversation no matter the topic. Practice those skills. Go to Toastmasters. Believe it or not, things like that help you use AI better than creating some sort of master prompt.
Yeah, so I like that. I think what you're saying, and this was the biggest takeaway from the beginning, is like just talk to it.
Yeah.
Just literally talk to it.
Yep.
Because you'll be able to communicate your ideas in a better way than when we type stuff, I don't know about you, but it's like a caveman, like, make me Facebook stuff, and it's like, just say it like the way I say it.
Well, when I'm writing something out, I want it to be profound. I want it to be Dickens-esque,
Yeah,
right?
never really makes it
But
that way.
but people are crazy. We're crazy, which means our language models are trained on our craziness. And what better way than to use your phone? Because your voice recorder can instantly transcribe everything you
Transcribe it.
have. So why not have set the phone down, have a conversation with somebody. It picks up on the transcript, the back and forth that you're having. If you corrected yourself, it's going to see that.
Yeah.
And I do that all the time. I have really, really bad ideas a lot. And then I'll figure it out mid-conversation, say, my God, Rob, that was moronic.
Right. And it gets all that.
And then say,
And you would never have communicated that dialogue if you were typing it out.
absolutely
You'd have been
not.
like backspace, backspace, backspace.
Correct.
And that's context that's missing.
That's absolutely it.
Yeah. Okay. I love that. That was gold. So Robert, where can they find you?
Anybody can connect with me at rob.lesix.com. That's rob.lesix.com.
Okay.
And if anybody wants the free version, we give out our 90mm BOS for free. The base version, you can find that at 90minute.ai, 90minute.ai.
We'll also put it in the show notes in the description
Perfect.
wherever you're watching or listening to this. If you got value from this, please do me a favor, share it with one agent who is still trying to figure out AI. Just one. That's how we grow this thing. Subscribe if you haven't already. And next Friday, we're breaking down another great tool with another amazing guest. You do not want to miss that one. Before I let you go, I want to say thank you to our founding partners, Wise Agent, Subi, and the CE Shop. They make this show possible, and they're building tools that actually help people in this industry. Check them out. All the links are in the show notes, and thank you for spending time with me. That is not something I take lightly. This is Jeremiah's J-Man Monero. Make it a great day.